So what if a bike race wasn't really about the finish line? Today, we're going to dive into a movement that takes the absolutely grueling challenge of high-altitude cycling and uses it to fuel a much, much deeper mission. This is a story about transformation, one pedal stroke at a time. All right, let's set the scene. We're way up in the Himalayas in a place called Leh. The air here is thin, and the mountains, well, they are seriously unforgiving. But this isn't just some scenic backdrop. For the GoCycle summit, this is the ultimate testing ground for your body and, more importantly, for your spirit.
This line from their handbook just says it all, doesn't it? Right away, you know this is not your typical race. This is more like a pilgrimage on a bicycle, where every single push of the pedal is a statement of commitment.
So, for this summit, the number was 20. Just 20 cyclists who came from all over India. You know, from tech hubs like Bangalore, coastal Goa, the capital city of Delhi, all of them drawn to this one single monumental challenge. And their objective was just staggering. I mean, ascending the Kardungla Pass is not like climbing some steep hill in your neighborhood. We're talking about a journey into dangerously low oxygen levels, a climb that pushes you to the absolute limits of your endurance. It becomes this powerful metaphor for the personal mountains they're all there to conquer. So what is GoCycle really about? Is it just some extreme sports club for the truly, truly dedicated? Or is there something more going on here, behind the scenes? Well, here's the core distinction. On the surface, yeah, you see an elite, extreme cycling club. But at its heart, GoCycle calls itself a sport mission initiative. They're using the physical discipline of cycling to drive a much, much larger purpose.
And that purpose, it's kind of twofold. On one hand, it's about social action, raising awareness for really critical issues like child safety. And on the other, it's about personal and spiritual development, building this faith-based community that's designed to raise up a new generation of leaders.
And their impact? It's tangible. You can see it. During their time in Leh, the group didn't just train. They actually went out and connected with over 1,000 children in local schools to run child safety awareness programs. This is where the mission literally hits the road.
Now, here's what I find really interesting about all this. The summit isn't just a one-off event. Nope, it's the peak moment in this carefully structured, year-long program that's designed to take a person from being just a rider to becoming a leader.
And you know, this has been a journey that's been a decade in the making. What started as just a ministry idea back in 2016 quickly grew. It expanded with expeditions to Sri Lanka, summits in Goa. You can just see this steady, intentional growth, both in its global reach and in how sophisticated its programs have become.
So a participant's journey is all mapped out in these clear phases. It kicks off with a 12-week challenge to build foundational habits, and that culminates in a summit like the one in Leh. But it doesn't stop there. After that, graduates enter the Vanguard Challenge, where they're empowered to lead their own groups, multiplying the movement's impact.
So, holding this entire journey together is this core philosophy, a set of guiding principles that give the whole movement its direction and its strength. And they boil it down to 3 words: bold, rooted, and devoted. First up, bold. In this context, it's all about leading from the front of the pack. You know, having the courage to say yes to a climb, even when you know the path is going to be ridiculously difficult. Next is rooted. And I love this analogy. Just like a cyclist needs a really strong core on a rough road, this principle provides that spiritual stability to handle all of life's unpredictable terrain.
And finally, devoted. This is all about commitment, not just to the faith, but to each other. It's about being that person who refuses to let another rider fall behind and creating these bonds that last long, long after the ride is over.
So how do these big ideas actually play out in real life? Because the goal isn't just to complete a ride, it's to completely transform a person. And the journey from rider to leader is best understood through a personal story.
So let me tell you about Arjun. He had trained for months, but up on the Kardungla Pass, just shy of his goal, his body just gave out. The altitude, the exhaustion, it was all too much.
Then, at his absolute lowest moment, something totally unexpected happened. A local boy from the area, riding this simple, rusted bike, just quietly pulled up right alongside him. No fanfare, no big speech,
just a quiet presence.
And the boy offered him this incredibly simple piece of advice. He didn't say, "You can do it," or "push through the pain." He just broke down an impossible task into one tiny, manageable step. Just get to the next bend in the road.
Arjun made it one bend at a time, and his reflection afterward just captures the entire spirit of GoCycle. It wasn't strength that got me here. It was presence. Someone beside me, quietly urging me forward.
And this is the ultimate goal. That spirit of encouragement is what gets formalized in the vanguard. See, participants like Arjun, they don't just finish the race and go home. They become the ones who ride alongside the next person, empowering them to keep going. They become the leaders.
And this brings us to a question from their handbook. And, it isn't just for cyclists. It's really for all of us. Who has been placed beside you in your toughest climbs?
Ultimately, I think this is the most powerful lesson from GoCycle. Reaching the summit isn't the end, it's actually the beginning. It's a graduation that marks the start of the real mission, to go back down the mountain and help someone else begin their climb. It really leaves you wondering, what's the finish line in your own life that's actually just a starting line?